Hello. Also, Luna, it's fine. It's okay. You're okay. Hello. Oh. Spacious room in the memory feels strangely narrow now. Such a vivid dream. It is a dream, isn't it? This is called Animula Nook. It is a cozy, open world, kind of open world-ish. There will be like other people around the world that I can interact with. We are... The description is shrink down and reimagine your desk as a whimsical world in Animula Nook. Going to hang out with friends, so I'll be lurking for the day. Okay. Craft your homes from odds and ends, grow giant crops, and style your outfit of the day. Explore the enchanting Whoopa Woods. Just remember, minis are always by your side. Minis are like Animal Crossing villagers. This resembles a drawer for old items bathed in sunlight and redolent of pencil shaving. Looking around might yield discoveries. So, since this is a dream, let's play a little longer. I don't want to wake up yet. Okay, so the camera is a little very hard to... Oh, we can attack things. Camera sensitivity way up. Camera default distance, let's do like 6. I guess that's better. I just feel like I have to move my mouse like several inches to... Wait, what is this? Aim sensitivity. Wait, is up? Hold on. If I go down, is that... Is that the most... No. That's still not very... Look at me. Oh my god, the camera sensitivity is so low.
Ma'am, this is a Wendy's.
Ma'am, this is a Wendy's. Hello, Hanya. Welcome back. I'm not enjoying the low sensitivity on the camera. I need a higher sensitivity. Dusty drawer, change your clothes. Look at me. F. Oh look. Oh look, we're creating our character. Here's all the skin tones. You can't rotate your character. Or on character creation. What do you mean? Water? Oh look, that's a cute hair. I do like this one though. This one's really cute. Let's do me. That's good. Skin tone's good. No heterochromia, which makes me a little sad. But this is still the alpha. Like, this is not the final game. Wogue. Character creation. Wogue. Red eyes. This game's Heterophobic? Yeah. It's fine. Let's do like that one. And we got our tiny brows. Ooh, I like that. That's really cute. No freckles. Oh, there's freckles. Okay, we do freckles. It's getting to springtime, so maybe we should have like a more springy outfit. It's not very springy, but you know, we'll find more outfits along the way, I'm sure. Very cute. Maybe sneakers. No, I don't know. I'll do these. Cat hat, bunny hat, no puppy hat. No puppy hat. Okay. No accessories right now. Except I'll do that. Save appearance. Look at us! We're so cute! Obtain shimmering honey. Childhood album. It looks like it's waiting for its owner to sign their name on the inside. Mashi. My Mashi. Oh. A gift? The outline looks familiar. Oh my god, look, it's Totoro. Hold on, I still need to... I need to see if I can make the sensitivity. Maybe I can ask someone. Look at it, so cute. Just leave everything to Whoopas, even your troubles. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. It looks so silly. There's no black one. I want one that looks like Gigi. Whoopas symbolize good fortune. They are innocent, lively, and bursting with energy. It's just as easy to get on their nerves as it is to win them over. They love to dress up, each with their own unique style. Finding two identical Whoopas in the world would be what? bottom right. Yeah, like the calico one. Yeah, that one's cute. I'll do that one. Hi, Noxie. Whoopa! No, the dog-looking one further down at the bottom right. Hi. Oh no! Oh, the dog. Me? I'm your favorite? I'm not a Whoopa! Whee! Take me to an adventure. Is this my room? Oh, apparently we're tiny. We shrunk and this is our room. Oh. Oh, are you gonna take me? Ah! How cute! Hope you have a good day. I had a good day. Well, it's still like early. This looks like a huge desk. Whoa, did I just time travel or something? Hey, my kitty Whoopa, you're tiny too. The translation isn't great. Whoopa. You can say your own name. What a dream. But where is this place? It looks so familiar. Whoopa! You seem to know something. Whoopa Whoopa. I know, so many cute games. Oh, coins. I cannot fix the sensitivity, chat. It's really bugging me. The camera sensitivity is so slow. And it only goes up to 5. That's construction mode sensitivity. I wonder if there's controller compatibility. Maybe controller would be better. There's no... There's no controller compatibility yet. I will say I hope they fix the camera. My Whoop is looking at a note on a stand. Guess I'll take a look. The desk is still a bit messy. I'll clean it up after the exams, hopefully. I've had Little Prince and Gulliver's Travels for ages. I'll return them to the library after I'm done, for sure. Check the club recruitment for this semester. Should I sign up for the photography club or not? This week's comeback plan. Coin. Ooh, 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 ooh. Large, colorful block pile. I'm grabbing everything I can off this. House of Cards. House of Cards. Okay. Coin. The note felt familiar, but I can't recall whose it was. Was it... what about this one? Please, stop stepping on my keyboard. Last time you closed out of my essay when I hadn't saved. To Whoopa the kitty. It felt like the end of the world to me. When I get my living expenses this month, I'll be sure to buy you the most expensive can of food there is. For now, though, you'll have to bear with some dry food. The last one looked like my handwriting. There's another note here. If I could really shrink like in the novels, could I crawl under the bookshelf to sleep? Or ride Whoopa to explore the balcony? What am I thinking? I've got an 8 a.m. class tomorrow morning. I'll be done for if I don't hit the sack right now. Midnight whimsy. This game is so whimsical. Whoopa! These are my diary and notes. This is my desk. Whoopa! I remember now. I fell asleep at my desk and then I shrank onto it? Whoopa, whoopa! Have I brought too much from novels into my dreams? Never had such a realistic dream before. Yoruba suddenly perks up, glances around, and scampers off toward the far end of the desk. Little Whoopa just can't contain itself. Gone again. I think it ran this way. The card house I casually built is now totally in the way. Gotta figure out how to clear it. A lollipop? Obtained the gathering tool, lollipop. Left click to swing the lollipop. Smash into items. Smash items with the lollipop icon to collect them. Hey. Coins! Coins everywhere! What the? What do I do with these cards later on? What is that? Oh. What else can I break? Oh, I'm guessing these are like building materials I can... Obtained emoji. Emoji is like energy, I guess. Emoji. I want to press the button. Oh, it's like a creamy keyboard. Ooh, nice. Okay. Found Whoopa, huh? There's a girl beside it. Oh, cutie! Look at her! Where'd she come from? Why are you in my room? Dilly, dilly, dilly. Hello, my name is Dilly. Whoa. Whoa! There really is a Minnie here. Minnie? Wait, you look so familiar. Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Dilly, and you are? Hi, I'm Mashi. Somehow I shrank onto my own desk. You mean this is your desk? Yeah. No wonder you look so familiar. You're not a Minnie. You're a human. A tiny human. I know you. You're the owner of this room. Now I understand why you looked so familiar. Hehe. This is kind of embarrassing to admit, but I sometimes sneak in to grab a couple of paper wads and cards when you're asleep. Okay, this dream is getting good, so that's why my stuff always disappearing. This is no dream. Minitopia is real, and so are the minis. You're looking at a genuine mini right here. I never thought I'd meet a shrunken human. When I arrived here today, the window slammed shut from a gust, and I thought I was totally out of luck. Now I met you, a shrunken human. This is truly a case of bad luck for Minnie turning out to be a blessing. By the way, I'm an intern at Starside. Legend has it shrunken humans are natural wish weavers. Wish weavers. Wish weavers are the ones in Minitopia with the richest emoji. They're minis capable of building a Starside homestead. Overflowing emoji allows you to do things ordinary minis can't in Minitopia. Hi, Happy! Happy and well. No longer happy or well. Happy and well. Hi. But first, I need to get you register with Starside. I'll contact headquarters right now. I don't think I agreed to this yet. Tilly pulls out a device which resembles a phone. She calls Starside headquarters, shocking them with the news that a tiny human has appeared. An understandable reaction, given the last time a shrunken human appeared in Minitopia was many, many years ago. Starside quickly approves Dilly's application, and your Wishweaver registration is successful. All done. You're officially a Wishweaver now. The world is going to be very different from now on. You'll see lots of emoji fragments. As your total emoji rises, you'll advance to higher Wishweaver levels. Take this handy phone. It's just like a human phone. It tracks your Wishweaver level. Before the words even fade, lots of sparkling points of energy light up across the desktop. Ad starts in 5 minutes. Now you're a Wishweaver. Try collecting the emoji fragment on the desk. Okay. Wishweaver level. I got a skateboard. Construction feature. How's the game? It's cute. I'm having trouble getting used to the camera because it's very slow. Just like me, for real, for real. What's just like you? I always viewed this room as a common, ordinary place. I never imagined seeing it from a different angle could make it so pleasing. What do you mean by a common, ordinary place? Every time I come here, it looks great. It looks even better if there were more houses and toys. Whoopa! I kind of wish this dream would never end. Feels like all the pressures of the human world are gone. No need to worry about early morning classes, unfinished homework, and other annoying things. How many times do I have to say it? This isn't a dream. This is a genuine, perfect Starside homestead. Let's work to make this our unique secret base. Whoopa whoopa! In the miniature world, it feels like my worries have become tiny too. Very wholesome. Look at it, so cute. What the heck is that, Pikachu in the distance? A really messed up Pikachu? Alright, Whoopas can glide with minis. Try grabbing its tail to glide. Gliding, let me see. Or let me try. With that, Dilly summons her own Whoopa and glides down. Reach with Wish Weaver level 1. Awesome. Next, we can make some modifications to this desktop. These human items, such as computer monitors, bookshelves, large speakers, and keyboards, are way too big for me minis. So we need to use this, the deformation gun. Each shot can shrink a large item and clear up space. Go try it out. Am I just gonna shrink everything on my desk? Place. How do I open my phone? Cute. That's really cute. Got a new top? Oh, that's cute. Oh, dang, I didn't save my mail. I got a bunch of stuff. Crafting engine. What's that? Woobus stop sign. Star side shop. Cute. Okay, how do we build? V? What else do we need to place? Assembly tool and campfire. Candle campfire. Assembly stool. Cute. Okay, so this is like the crafter. Not enough ammo. Fell into a deep slumber on the bed, had a long dream. It was a truly restful and wonderful sleep, but I think I'm getting a bit hungry. We're hungry. Dilly. Wow, you're awake. I saw you sleeping and didn't want to disturb you. That was a really good sleep, but I think I'm getting a bit hungry. be honest, I'm a bit hungry too. I saw a whole bunch of fruit on the balcony, but the balcony is locked. I'll be right back, actually. I tried to see if restarting the game would fix the camera, but no, I think it's just stuck at this speed. Find a way to get the balcony key. Oh, look at that! Ooh, that cage is really cute. Mushrooms. Ooh, that's cute. The ecstatic dilly also hops up onto the balcony. That's a big one. It's like a cozier grounded. Grounded without all the things trying to kill you. What is this cuteness? This is called Animula Nook. It's the alpha test. You shrunk into a tiny person. You shrunk onto your desk. And now you're something called a wish weaver. They're like people who can, I think, create environments for the minis. Minis are like the people in the shrunken world. Wow, there are lots of fruits here. Go pick a few. Eating fruit can restore stamina. Hee, cute! That's so cute. Convert materials into Laborly. Open the Laborly. We need fiber. And cardboard. Are those like our foundations? Place new furniture. Place flatty kitchen counter. V. Toast table. How do I pick it back up? How do I pick it back up? Making things mini so I can use them to decorate with. I can't make. I don't have any. I swear I saw. I don't want this out. I don't know how to put it away. Okay, hold on. Let's see. V construction. Retrieve. Okay. Flatty kitchen counter. I want to get all this emoji. Oh my god, the watering can. Kitchen counter? I don't know if I have a kitchen counter, do I? Let's see. Craft. Craft a kitchen counter. Kitchen counter. And already have one of these. Oh, I have to craft one now. No, I think I just have to place it. Let's see, where should I place it? How about like right here? And then feel like I should write a note of everything that I want in the game or want to change. Hold on. I have a notepad. I don't have a notepad. Maybe I can use my Steam notepad. Camera sensitivity too low. And what was my other thing? Inventory needs to have an auto. It's like an auto sort button and like move all button. Inventory to storage needs to have an auto sort button and a move all button. Also possibly a select all. And like games, I know this is the alpha, but like a lot of games that like release in early access do this thing where they don't make it so you can craft item, like more than one item at a time, which is annoying. Like you have to keep pressing craft, craft, craft. There's like no quantity. And then another thing that annoys me is when they don't do like an auto sort, auto fill, or move to stack option when they don't have a move to stack option like that. Move to stack option. Because like I have to click deposit all, deposit all. Like I can't hold down and select more than one item. Tedious, very tedious. Fruit chunk. When the slider reaches the blue cutting area. Okay, I didn't. There we go. Okay, well this is nice. What is this? Like, open your backpack and use the blueprint. The camera just like straight up bugged. Top-down option when building, or in top-down option when in build or construction mode. I think that will unlock later on, but I'm just like writing everything down. Top-down. Okay, this is top-down. What was I supposed to do? Give the bus stop sign to Billy. Gotta go have fun, take care. Okay, Happy, thank you for coming. Thank you for stopping by, it's good to see you. Hashi, your wish weaver level is so high now, you're truly a wish weaver with limitless potential. Now, in our Starside homestead, we can build a Woobus stop sign. Woobus stop sign? Yep, the Woobus stop sign is a transit spot in Minitopia. And you need to go out, wait at the Woobus stop sign, and a Woobus will come pick you up. Woobus, that sounds interesting. Hey, it's pretty much like what you humans call, let me think, a bus. So it's like a cat bus. Billy picks up the handy phone and gets through to Starside HQ. No time, a team of workers from Starside has the Woobus stop sign built on your balcony. Hi, Dran. What's up? So this is Minnie's village, Woorooville. I can't believe a place this magical really exists. The scenery here is completely different from what we have back at the homestead. I want to explore. I got a message. This is Starside. You've met the conditions to unlock daily quests. Starting now, 5 daily quests will appear on your handy phone every day. Completing them will yield unique rewards. Okay, so I guess I'm out of the tutorial now. Okay. It's so pretty here. What the? Hello? Let's make music. Feel the resonance of the instruments as they harmonize together. Nothing much. Are these my little villagers? Can I swim? Okay. Wave, wave, wave. There's so many things. Neighborhood inviting. There's so many petals. Are these petals? What do I use the slingshot for? Ah, I see. Okay, let's go find Dilly. Dilly dally. Master Chef. This is the first stop in the Whoopa Woods, Wooruuville. Oops, almost forgot to have you add me to your contacts. Later, when you meet other minis, you can add them to your contacts too. Oh, chill, I got this game on my wish list for its official release. Yeah, I'm playing the alpha. 5-stream streak, nice. Add Dilly to your contacts. Okay. Dilly, an eager intern who dreams of joining the Star Side. She's memorized every page of the Star Officer exam materials by heart. Unfortunately, everyone seems to notice her awkward slip-ups in public, overlooking the countless nights of effort she's poured into behind the scenes. But to judge a book by its cover, that's its own kind of slip-up. That's sad. I believe in you. What? I had to use my free... What is this? How do I zoom out? I can go inside. Cute. I'm Phobo, the Starside merchant. If you've got any deals, just come find me. You wanna buy something? I wanna buy something. Sell goods. What do I sell and what do I keep? You can't bury me. I'm not 3D. I'm sorry. Starside recycling. How do I check my monitor's refresh rate? Damn it, Riot. Gotta go for now. Have a good rest of stream. Okay, thank you. Oh, I only have 12,000. I like that hair. I don't have enough money. I don't want to sell that. A Keycat fan made based on the world famous painting Birthday Star Woopa. A rare collectible which the general store owner will love. Merchandise from the Woopa Research Center. When Woopas feel uneasy, they rub their own bellies. Buy the super gift pack from Phobo. I want to buy something. Never-ending tea party. Cute. Refrigerator. What if I like... Is there a way to move? I can move this, okay. What if I like... did like shops on each side? Is this my house? Build the house for your mini neighbor. Furniture textures. Okay. Invite Minnie. Wow, it's Mashi. You came to see me. Ah, you mean the decor for my new home is finished? Not ready yet. Wait, how do I go in? Can I go inside? What does it say? Oh, in the yard. Okay. Thank you for the head pat from earlier. I have to place this stuff in the yard and then... History of Starside. Everything's set up for you. Star Officer's personal workstation. Okay. She loves it. Cute. Thanks for decorating. You're so thoughtful. It's exactly what I was dreaming of. So thank you. I'm giving you my favorite furniture set. You can use them as you please. Thank you for everything you've prepared for me. I'll tidy up my new home and start a new life. A happy new life to you. New life skill system. Shop recycling funds increased to 22,000. Go home and wait for the master gardener to arrive. A woober whistles on by the balcony. Whistles on by the balcony. It's the master gardener. Look at you! You're so tiny! Wow, what a big plot of land. Absolutely perfect for planting. Now, let's start learning how to plant. With sunlight, water, warmth, and nourishment in balance, plants can truly thrive. First, open a life skill app on your handy phone and allocate a skill point. Unlike yellow mini berry and blue mini berry at the planting shop, they yield more seeds upon... Oh my goodness, Gigi! Oh my goodness! There's dancing? Cute. Your cat sounds exactly like mine does when I close the cabinet she wants to get in. That's so funny, Arctic, that you say that, because he's literally waiting outside the... Well, it's open. It's open. The closet is open. I thought the closet was closed and he wanted into it, but it's open. What is this? Hold on. Oh my god. No! Oh, that one's cute. Improv action. Performance. Huh. I struggle with that a little bit. Oh, I have. Let's see. Let's move my water out of the way. Ah! Why am I struggling with this so much? Okay, that's complete. Planting. I know I cannot plant here. What do you mean? Let's go home, plant our seed. Hello, Sharky. How are you doing? Shark attack. Hi. How are you? Did you have a good stream? Ren had tech issues, but we were playing Pokemon. Oh, I see. was Pokemon. Okay, now what? Excellent, you've got a real knack for planting. Keep taking good care of these plants. Just saying that, Dalton left the Mega Whoopa platform. Talk to Molly. It's fine, we got a 3-4. We got 3 out of 4 encounters before Brock. I KO'd the 4th, and we lost one of ours for a Pikachu I caught. Oh no. Well, at least you have a Pikachu. Molly. Whoopas of the World is my favorite book, so what brings you here? Molly's worried. 1, 2, 3. There are plenty of fresh dewdrops up here. Up there, all of them collected can make some seriously amazing roseberry black tea. How to collect them? Molly, what are you doing here? Looking for something? Okay. I've got a slingshot. Joker. Thank you for shouting shark out.
¿Viste ese despliegue de habilidades?
Danger zone. I want that.
Zone.
Draw 3, discard 2, including at least 1 danger card. Do they have a danger card? I know what one of their cards in hand are. What's the what shuffle in his deck?
Your Yu-Gi-Oh.
No, you can do it. That's what I thought. That's what I thought. You've used most of your dangers already. Get that shit out of here. You can't fool me. You can't fool me. Main 2. Yes! Take that!
Whoopas of the World is my favorite book. Oh my goodness. She's dancing inside of me. Whoa, she disappeared. shuffled their hand back because they bluffed me and I didn't buy it. Oh. Hello, Master Dancer. I want to learn how to dance from you. No problem. First off, let me see how flexible you are. Shake for me. How? Like this. Follow the rhythm. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, let me try. Pretty good. I'll accept you to be my student. Next, I'll teach you a brand new dance move. Mini exercise. Learn dancing. Oh, I have to do this one. Okay. Why is it locked? Okay, maybe I dance. Oopa shake. I've already done this one. Oh my god. Hi! They're waving at me. I don't know if they can see me dancing, can they? Oh my god, what is this basic music? Oh no. Oh my goodness. The song's so long. Wonderful. Yay! Oopa shake. Boba shake. Look at different homesteads. Oops. Okay. This person just started. I wanna see. I wonder if you can unshrink things. Hi, Joker. I'm so done, so done, so done. We both got gold in our name, so why you gotta do me so dirty? A majestic 2-foot seagull and you're out here stealing a mini's fries? What? Was it the one you shared on Twitter? Because I just bought that one. I bought a game. You bought a game? Wait, what? What? Oh! It's called Super Battle Golf. Does that mean you're gonna play with us tonight, both of you? You did play it with me the other day. Hello, Mako! Nah, I already played Omega Strikers. What? That's not... okay. I love the 100% discount meme on Omega Strikers when the game is free. Oh my god. Oh my god, this guy talks forever. Oh, okay. So if I did want him to move in, he could move in. Has it moved in when I enter house? It's very much Animal Crossing vibes. Okay, let's go back to my homestead. I'm guessing it won't be free then if it's going to be that popular. So I think the game it might be free because there might be like cosmetics and stuff you can buy or purchase or gacha you can do. I'm not too sure yet. Let's see. Lupa Woods. And then I need to talk to the musician person. I have so many gacha. I'm playing another gacha and I think I'll lose it. I know. So far I'm not seeing any gacha with this game. But it is alpha, so I'm not sure. Master musician, I'm here to learn how to play an instrument. Minis can't go without musical instruments. Do you have any prior musical experience? No, none. It's okay, Minnie's instruments are all super simple to play. Here, come and learn a tune with me. Hold on, I'm chat, I'm locked in. My god. There's too many buttons! There's too many buttons! Damn, didn't know you're tryhard. Guitar Hero tryhard. Oh my god. Hi. Aura. Cute. Wait, how do I emote? I keep forgetting how to emote. Play the... Oh, I had to play the Whoopa Groove? I wasn't even playing the right song. I wasn't even playing the right song. Streaming Guitar Hero win. I do have Guitar Hero and I do have a guitar for it. Hi, Mikey. Bruh. Now she Guitar Hero on hardest until she could get all perfect. You have too much faith in me, Mako. Achieve 1 star in the desktop homestead schedule on handy phone. Chat 1 if Machi is the cutest. No. Woo! The question is, which Guitar Hero do you have? If it isn't 3, I'm pretty sure I can get like all of them, Mikey. Thanks. Ooh! Fair. 3 is the best one. Why is 3 the best one? I don't even know what songs are on what. My brain can't remember things. Man, this is a Wendy's. You truly love what you do. Life always works out. So we minis don't have many rules for life skills. We have already registered your info in the Star Side Life division. Go unlock your abilities. Why? Hey, why not invite me over to your place? Okay. Hi. Wait, I thought I got a new hat. I did get a new hat. What? I thought I did save my new hat. Oh my god, hold on. Hello. Okay. We can unlock a stove. We can... I think we can unlock anything else right now. It says I have a point. Oh, in construction. Return home and wait for Master Carmackie's arrival. Okay, go home. Make a stove. A whooper that looks like a food truck has arrived at your homestead. Huh? Oh, is this your homestead? Such a unique vibe. Greetings, Carmackie. Welcome to my Starside homestead. Now then, let's start learning to cook. A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Let's start with something simple. Nectar water. Nectar water is one of the most popular food items in Woorooville. I have trouble saying that. 3 has Devil went down to Georgia, followed by Through the Fire and the Flame. Oh yeah, I've played 3. I've played Guitar Hero 3. Is this my house or is this just someone's house? Because I kind of want to make it my house. Oh, bicycle. Do I need to craft the stove? Oh. Oh, oh wait, no, here it is. Wait. That seems like more of an outside. What the? Oh, does that not go on the wall? Huh. Oh, that's cute. a little hard to find stuff in this game. Cause like, the thing you pick up should be like the first thing that shows in your inventory. Oh my glob! It's Ice. Hi, Ice.
Hi, Big Oof.
Big Oof. Big Oof. Ice. What does this do? Oh, I still need all of this. Well, where's my nectar water? There it is. It's the last thing in my inventory instead of the first thing. Well done. What a talented, gifted wish weaver. Perhaps you'll become the next master chef someday. I have high hopes for you. Looking forward to seeing you create more delicious food. If you ever need ingredients, come visit my shop in Woorooville. Sparkling pollen. But at least the load times are very quick. How do I get pollen? Ah, I see. I see. Happy jump. Oh, what's that purple thing? Wait. You just found a bottle and were wondering what it was like when a little girl named Lily walked by. It's... What? A long time ago, minis prayed to the star blooms for the light and water needed for crops to grow. Thus, there appeared pages flickering with sunbeams and withered wood dripping with dew. Minis still couldn't use them. Finally, a highly talented artisan invented a magnificent tool, a weather bottle that could collect, store, and utilize orbs of light and droplets of water. Weather glass? Is that the bottle I just found? That's right, you've attained the essential tool for planting so quickly. Are you the legendary thinker with the greatest talent for life? I'm the greatest talent for life. That's right, I'm the most talented. The most resourceful thinker. Go collect light orbs. I'm sure you'll quickly become proficient at using weather bottles to help grow crops. Okay. Mini hazelnut. Those aren't hazelnuts. Those are acorns. Those are acorns. Am I crazy? What? Obtain nut. Hazelnut. You have just found a rather perplexing bottle with a Voltu. When a Voltu looks. Oh, Voltu's cute. Adorable. Keep an eye out for items scattered about during your adventures, especially the aroma bottle that can absorb all kinds of fragrances. You already got it. Fantastic. With that, you can absorb all kinds of fragrances under the Star Bloom Towering. Wow, it can really do that? The Star Side Aroma Bottle, a specialized tool with a specialized use. You can try gathering some fragrances, such as ebony fragrance. Simply walk through the withered woods, let the scent of the star blooms lead you forward, and you're bound to find it. I'll go try it now. Voltu hurriedly leaves again. I don't... one's looking for spore ring. Oh, she's adorable. I don't understand what I'm supposed to suck up here. Broop. Oh, seems like I need to eat, maybe? Berry. Berry. Big berry. I want them. Why can't I collect this? Unlock group dance. Contacts. Very delicious. Hanya. Posture check. Thank you for the posture check. Oh gosh, this is hard. Hello, person. Hello. Oh wait, I can click them too? No way, I can click them? Hold on. Watch your spine, I can hear you bend those things. What do you mean? Now that I know I can use my mouse, that makes it so much better. Thank you for playing with me. The drummer isn't on beat. What's this? This is so cute. No. Oh, I messed up. I like this one better than like pressing all the keys. That was really, really cute. I liked that. Okay, where's our home? What the? Can I help? I want her in my homestead. Look how cute she is. Hold on. Can I take a picture? Z? No, that's not a picture. What is picture? What's all this then? I don't want to practice track. I guess. Oh, we just did this one. Is this the way home? I think it is. So tiny compared to you, and you're already tiny that you can skate on. Yeah. We're mini. It's like that game Grounded, but less violent. Do I need to water my plants again? sunshine. Can I get rid of this though? How do I get the bunny? I want the bunny. I don't know if any of my alpha test progress will save, so maybe I shouldn't like focus too much on getting the villagers I want or the minis I want. What? No. And life skill. Yeah, most games don't save testing progress. Yeah, I didn't think so. Quest. Earn desktop homestead schedule rating. How am I gonna remember what all I need? Like these don't even have names. Wait, don't I have one of those? Umbrella things? Still need one. cute. Oh, I did it. Oh, okay. Here's the gotcha. But what are these for? Oh, you can exchange for rare furniture. How do you exchange them? Hi, yay, Dr. Mashi, hello! Azazel. Unlocked a meteor ascent. Gain 10 emoji each time you obtain a new item. I want to explore more homesteads. Where? I mean, balcony. There we go. Let's bring this closer so I can crouch things easier. Assembly stool. Oh, clothes rack. Terrain. Labor. Okay. So we need this. We need this. That's cute. We got that and that. We still need that chair. We got a refrigerator. Oh, heck yeah. No, I didn't want to put that away. Back button when you're in, revert back button when you're in build mode would be handy for building. Kitchen counter. Whoa, that's a big fucking lamp. Holy. Hamburger. I don't have any outfits. I'm kind of broke. Let's see. Cooking. Milk tea. Fruit chunk. Uh-oh. That's not right here. There we go. Give me fruit chunk. Did I collect my item? Okay, suddenly I cannot. Suddenly I cannot use my counter. There we go. We need a carpet, whatever that is. Square carpet. This is what we need. Resin block and what else? Let's go explore more. In the Lonely Nebula #1, wish weavers gather countless materials formed from human emotions and revert them into considerable amount of star mark coins. Oh. I'll take a picture. Do I have the ability to take a picture yet? Probably not. Ooh, this looks like a cute Mashi world. Oh. I guess we'll just go around and collect things. It's a sitting spot. Wow! Wait, are they who I was playing with? No, they're not who I was playing with earlier. Wow! Thank you for the hydrate. How did they just join like that? Oh, they joined at the end there. Did I say thank you for the hydrate? Thank you for the hydrate. Homestead quest, daily quest. I already did all my daily quests, I guess. Look at it. Nice. What are these Woopa coins for? Wait, how are they doing that? They're blowing bubbles everywhere. That's so cute. Minis are sleeping. I could do a trick dance before dinner. Saj. Show your name. Where are they going? What's broken? Oh. Yay, Senwar, hello, hi Hockey. Oh, let me hydrate. Oh man. Gah! Dance party. Yippee! Yay, friends! Hi, stream. Heart? No. This is Animula Nook. I like how you all. No, I did not forget about Heartopia. I don't play it on stream anymore, or at all. Is this an MMO? It is. It is, bye. Oh, I want a blue tea. Or maybe I'll just chill. I don't know, I'm pretty loyal to Heartopia. Mashi betrayed it, not me. Heartopia betrayed everyone with their fake gacha rates, their AI, and their... Anyway, this is not about Heartopia. This is about Animula Nook right now. Because that's what we're playing. Do. Give me the do. What? Oh, they added me. Yay. Matey connection. What else can I do? I think I've done everything that I can do currently. I want Mashi in this style. I really like this style. I guess I already kind of look like that like hand-drawn. I don't know how to describe it. Mashi plays AI slop game outside of her streams. Mashi, I thought, how could you? I thought you were on pencil slop What the? Get out of here. Gigi. Gigi, I got your laser. Gigi. Are you okay? Why are you shaking like that? I got the laser pointer. He's going for the bait. Oh, he's spinning in circles. Oh. Hello, Bunny. How are you? I mean, how many of these little minis can we have on our homestead, I wonder? Elora Spore, hello, welcome! Oh my gosh, hello! Hello, everybody! Elora, hello! Welcome! Hello, Kroy, hello, hello, Rhythm Rogue, hello, Jelly Bean. You sound familiar. Thanks for dancing with me. Thanks for dancing with me. It was fun. How are you liking the game? Another fellow Nookie.
Pissing all by yourself,
Oh
handsome?
my, I'm sorry. Time to spread the spores. I love spores and mushrooms. I'm Mashy. I'm a golden retriever, cottagecore variety streamer. I stream cozy games. The most recent games I've been playing is I started Animula Nook today. I've been playing Pokopia. I've been playing Celeste. House Flipper 2. And that's about it right now. I have a very short attention span when it comes to games, so I play a lot. Because I get like burnout kind of easily. But in order to avoid that, I switch my games a lot. But hello! Oh, I also play friend swap games. All my fellas!
All my fellas.
Real.
All my fellas.
Yesterday we played Celeste. That's like a story game platformer side scroller. I get a real burnout on games. Oh? But if you need to raid and run, please go ahead. If you need to get some rest or go eat, please do so. I will be around for a few hours. We're probably gonna switch off of Animula Nook soon, or probably end stream soon. I'm going to lurk, got to do some yard work. Okay, enjoy the nice weather! The second day of spring! I want to build something. Wait, I'm already in wood. I'm gonna visit everyone's homestead. Did we add each other? Alora? I don't know if we did. Did we? That's not it. C? Temporary friend. What is temporary friends? I don't think so, but you can. How do I add you? Rem Korax, thank you for the follow! What if I just added everybody? Oh no. There's not like recent interaction friends. Let's see. Go to homestead. Are my plants? How are my plants doing? See, my cat is crying for me. Gigi. Moonchild of the North Forest. Hello, welcome. Thank you for the follow. Gigi. Gigi. What do I need for my cute model? Thank you. Thank you so much. It's a customizable model that I got a few months ago. Not sure if you're one of the people I danced with a minute ago. Yeah, I am. I am, yes. Thanks for dancing with me. Gigi. Fiber. Yes. Aye! Oh, my nectar's in my fridge. Gotta run for dinner, but have fun. Thank you. Have a good dinner. It's nice that you don't have to sleep in this game. I will say that. Resin deposit. What do you mean I sold all my washi tape and now I don't have any to make resin? Whoa. I think I collected 10 star mark fragments. Not sure what they're for. What are these? Star mark. It's a mysterious item that reaches into the depths of Emo Ocean. Emo Ocean! Emotion. Oh, emotion. Okay. The Demeter Ascent. Demeter Ascent? I think I've heard Voltu mention that. Demeter Ascent is a place of dreams and danger. It's full of treasures to loot, and you can trade your finds with Starmark merchants for amazing gear. With your skills now, you can stroll through the Minitopia without a care. The Meteor Ascent should be a breeze for you. You're making me blush. Hee hee. Let me make a quick call to Starside on the handy phone to confirm. Fubao called the Starry Sky Association with the Lily Tong service. The Starry Sky Association expressed that this action would come. Wait, but if you want to enter the emotion, you need to craft a complete star mark on the Laborly first. Okay, I'll do that. I was worried I was running out of quests to do. Okay. Complete star mark. Lonely star mark. I will be right back. I'm gonna see if Gigi needs more food. Gigi is my cat. And we will be back in a second. Yes. Gotta go feed cat pissing. I gotta go feed cat and piss. You know how it is. I don't know why I pause it. Okay. Phobo. Or Fubao. I'm Phobo. Wait, what do you mean? Oh, wait. Oh, do I have to go to the bus now? Oops. This is kind of spooky. Do I wait? Do I wait until people join to... I don't know how this works. I don't want to... Is it dangerous for me to go alone? I don't want to go alone. Oh, paint. Oh gosh, did I... Oh, wait, hold on. Maybe we'll come back later. Uh-oh, what happened? My mouse is gone. My mouse is gone. Enter. I think I have to Alt F4. Well, that was interesting. Hold on. I am so upset because I signed up for the alpha test with my email that has like my full name. So I'm just gonna hide that for a second while I log in. What time is it? I actually think I'm gonna end stream. Z? Survey? I will fill that out soon. What is this? Okay. We're gonna end. Perhaps I will be back. Or perhaps Pumpkin will go live and we're gonna go play golf, Super Battle Golf. So let me find someone to raid. One moment. Oh, I really like this person's aesthetic. Oh, they're not live anymore. Dang it. Maybe another Animula Nook creator we can raid. Sunny. Cocoa Pups. We're in an ad with them right now. We'll definitely play more of this game. I want to keep doing the dailies and stuff. And expanding my homestead. 75 stream streak? Holy heck. Sunny. Thank you for stream. Sorry I couldn't make it sooner. I was so sleepy today. It's okay. I might be back. Who knows? We'll see. Bye-bye. Go watch another Animula Nook creator. She's very cute. She's a puppy. Is she a puppy girl? Emotional support puppy girl. Okay. Bye-bye.